Hey folks, so we are at day 35 here and we're just coming off of our 7-day challenge of watering our zucchini baby only once over the last 7 days. And on top of that, our baby is starting to get pretty big. So we're going to begin talking about the hardening off process as well and moving it into its forever home. Okay, so to get started, let's take a look at our zucchini baby and let's see how it is doing over the course of those 7 days where it only got one watering. And now for myself, my zucchini plant, I only watered it once, and that was about 5-6 days ago. That was on Sunday of last week, and today is Friday here. And so let's take a look here, and we can see even without getting water, in about 5 days or 6 days, it's still looking really quite nice and quite strong. Now, part of that is because our seedling mix holds on to a great amount of moisture. And the other part of it is because the plants, while they definitely do need their water, they are also fairly resilient. And now what we can notice is that some of the older leaves, they're quite limp and they're definitely either wanting some water or getting towards the end of their life. And so those are the ones that are going to show the effects of not getting a lot of water the most. And so that's also okay because these plants or these leaves, the very early ones, we're going to be pruning those all off anyways. So if they get a little bit of wear and tear here and look fatigued, maybe even yellowing a bit, that's okay, as long as we still have the growth coming from the center of the plant out of the main stem that it would be coming through. So what I'm going to be wanting to do first and foremost here is get some water to this baby. So I'm going to give it a good 2 to 3 base since it's gone through that little bit of a drought there. But what we can also see at the bottom here is that there's some little roots that are starting to make their way out. And if I were to actually pop this plant baby out from in here, what we can see is that there are roots that are developing all throughout there, and it's kind of getting to being at the end of being able to fit into this small little seed cell. And so that means that we need to start thinking about, what do we do next here? Do we pot it up or do we begin hardening it off and moving it into its forever home? Now, this is going to vary for every one of us depending on when we're doing this video and what type of conditions we have that we are living in. The important question is, which is the right path to go down for you? Do you go down the path of potting it up or do you go down the path of hardening it off and moving it into its forever home? Now, there are 2 important factors when it comes to that. The first one is, what is the nighttime low temperature? And this is the most important factor because if we put our plant baby out too early, then it's at risk of ultimately dying off. And so to find out if your plant baby is ready, for a zucchini, that falls into our warm weather crops. And for our warm weather crops, we need a minimum of 10 Celsius as the nighttime low. And so to figure out if you are in that range of the nighttime low being at least 10 Celsius, you're going to want to Google the name of your city and average nighttime low temperature. So for me, I would Google Squamish average nighttime low temperature. And if it is showing that it is now in that range of 10, 11, 12 Celsius, I know that I'm safe to begin transplanting this baby into its forever home, which I'm going to do by first hardening it off. And so in that case, I would begin the hardening off process. Now, the second factor that we would want to be looking at is how developed is the plant. We don't want to put it out there when it's really, really young, really, really small. And so the rule of thumb that I like to go off of is that we can harden off and transplant our babies into their forever home when they have 3 sets of true leaves. So 6 total true leaves on the plant. And so when I take a look at this one here, I can see that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could go through them to count out the actual sets, but there's my 6 leaves. This plant is well enough along its way, it's mature enough, it's large enough to be transplanted into the forever home. Based on where I'm at in my season today while I'm filming this, it is warm enough to be putting this plant baby outside. So I am going to begin the hardening off process. In 7 days, we'll check back in. I'll be right in the middle of that, getting close and ready to move this baby into its forever home. And then we'll go through that after day 42. All right, so the next video in this playlist is going to be our day 42 check-in, when we're going to check in and see how our baby is responding to the hardening off process. So it's going to be right in the middle of being exposed to those elements outside. And so if you're about to begin hardening off your zucchini baby, I really encourage you to check out that video so that you can see what will your plant be looking like and how will it be responding to now being outside and underneath the sun. And so if you want that sneak peek and to go into that video right now, all that you need to do is click on the little tile right here, and that's going to take you directly over to that video. Otherwise, that's everything that I wanted to cover off on for today. So if you have any questions, leave those down in the comments and I'll get a response to you straight away. Otherwise, you're doing absolutely amazing, and I'll catch you on day 42. See you then.